fun.
Welcome to the SWBL podcast presented once again this year by 1356 Public House. I am joined tonight for the Expos captain interview, and as you can see, Kevo is not here. We've got Jimmy Nelson, longtime Expo and reigning Rookie of the Year, Sam Eichenlaub, joining us to represent the Expos to get a new perspective. I think Kevin's got a lot going on, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun to get just some different faces on here, different perspectives of the team. They've got the biggest roster in the league, so it's going to be fun to talk to these guys and do the things we always do with captain interviews. So we're just going to call this a team interview, I guess we should say, and we're going to look at the division, the roster, do some predictions, have some fun. So, guys, thanks for joining. How have you been?
Thanks, Brian. Great. Happy April Fool's Day
Mm-hmm. It
from
is
Fool
April
Nelson.
Fool's Day when we're recording this. That is true.
It is true. We got some storms coming in the Metro St. Louis area. So some of the out of towners, we got some hail, some tornadoes, kind of spinning up. But yeah, I'm doing great over here. We're just counting down the days.
Yeah, we are getting really close now. It's less than 2 months away at this point. Yeah, and like Sam said, we've got some weather in the area. So if you see us duck out of the picture, kind of know what's happening. So
I was playing
yeah,
disc golf
guys,
out there and the sirens were going off. It was awesome.
where are
I
you?
was wishing a tornado would just touch down so I could just send one in there,
Oh
see
yeah.
what happened.
See how far you could actually launch it.
Yeah, I'd probably set
Yeah,
the world distance record, baby.
that'd be sweet. Yeah. Did you get a lot of wind where you were? Were you getting a lot of wind?
No, it was very calm, so threw some good
When
discs out there.
when you throw like Jimmy, the wind doesn't affect the disc
Yeah, there's no
anyway.
wind.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's no wind.
there's none.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
like wind for your knuckleball?
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
headwind, baby.
Yeah.
Dances everywhere,
Yeah.
uncontrollable,
Yeah.
unhittable, just like how it always is.
It is tough. It is tough. We're going to get into some of that in a little bit. So, first, guys, let's talk about season 21. Since we're coming off that, not the best year. Um, you went 0 and 10, and I think we had fun. But
Been there before.
yeah, tell just Sam, this was your first experience in the SWBL. Let's actually just start there. Like, what did you think? What is your first year, fresh eyes? A lot of these guys have been around for a long time, so we kind of know what to expect. But what did you
Mhm.
think?
Yeah, so I mean, coming into it, I know a lot of the guys from MoWIF, which is where I came from, and that's where I met Jimmy. And I knew I kind of had a taste of season 20. I came to a few of the games on the Friday night that the kind of the opening and whatnot. Cam kind of showed me around, introduced me to some people. I've been best friends with Jason since we were like 10 years old. So, um, but yeah, just the culture and everyone around it and how everyone is you know, um, it's like a big family gathering until you get in between the white lines, and then that's when it becomes like an actual the game and everything gets competitive and whatnot. But yeah, it's been incredible. Getting introduced to Shantytown and the Rockies that hang out over there, and every group has kind of their own little spot and whatnot. But knowing a few guys from each of the teams is always kind of fun, and I hope to meet more as the as season 22 kicks off and progresses as well. But yeah, incredible environment. My wife came she was only supposed to come to one of the games last year, and she came to like the first game and just ended up staying for like the rest of the night. She's like, this is so much fun. Like the atmosphere is so great. Everyone's having a good time. There's drinks. There's a pool. There's food.
Shantytown.
It's incredible. Yeah, she was a big fan, and there are some days where she's looking forward to Memorial Day weekend more than I am. So she's definitely excited to get back there, and as well as I am in the Spos.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Some of us, Jimmy, how long have you been in the league now? 6, 7 years? It's
No,
been a
this is
while,
our
right?
10th year, baby. This is season 10 of Expos
Is
baseball.
it really?
Yeah, this is our
When
10th
was your
anniversary,
rookie
so this is a big
year?
one. Huh?
So I guess your rookie year was
I
15.
think like 2015 or something.
That's wild. I didn't realize like that I had come into the league right before you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so
nuts.
we started the Expos I think in 2015 or 14, probably 14, I guess.
Oh no,
But this is like our
it
10th
was
season,
16
so
because we started. It was 16. So because we started the Astros and the Expos the same year, I thought
no, you guys came in the next year.
the year after.
Yep.
Okay, Okay.
This is our 10th year, so like me, Eggs, and Kev are the only ones still around from that first year. So
That's wild.
10th season, baby.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear Sam's perspective, just hearing it, from fresh eyes. And obviously that's what keeps us coming back is the things he mentioned, the atmosphere and the camaraderie and the friendships and the fun that everybody has, especially at Shantytown. Everybody's
The
welcome there
off-field
most
stuff's the
most of the
best.
Mm-hmm.
time. So
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, Jimmy, let's talk a little bit about the on-field stuff last year. What do you feel about last year? Or do you want to just forget
Uh,
about it and move on?
I don't know. I feel like we were like right there in some of the games. I mean, I don't really remember the season that well because it didn't go very well, but the main thing was like I feel like we were right there in some of the games. We just didn't hit well, caught some bad breaks, had to play in the dark, which shouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
happened. And that should never happen, I don't think. Against like the A's, I don't think we've ever even actually beaten
Mm-hmm.
the A's. And like that was one team we figured we could probably get a win against. We had to play in the pitch dark. And like
Mm-hmm.
I remembered like not even trying to swing. So that was just a joke. But I don't know. Still had great time. It just wasn't a great season. But this year we're going to be way better.
Good.
Guaranteed.
Sweet. Well, let's break down the roster, and we're going to get into kind of maybe some of the thought processes with the roster with this season. So, no changes really, at least what I can tell on paper. Everybody's back. You got one of the largest rosters, if not the largest roster in the league. Just to rattle everybody off, obviously Kev being the manager, captain, leading the ship. Jimmy, you're coming back. Sam, you're back. We've got Gurm back. Jeremy Worrell just re-signed recently, so he's coming back. Eggs is back. Evan Close is coming back. Jack Light is the only one that has been on the roster that's we're unsure of right now at this point, but we know that if he doesn't sign with presumably the Orioles with his dad, he's gonna be back with you. You guys are gonna welcome him back and continue to let him develop. So with that being the case, and you guys, you're on an 0 and 10 off this year. You're off of a 1 and 19 over the last 2 years. Um, what do you think needs to maybe change? I mean, you're not really changing anything from a player personnel standpoint. So what do you kind of want to build on, or what do you want to maybe adjust, or you think Kevin's going to want to adjust to kind of start getting some momentum and start getting back into the win column?
I don't know, man. Like I feel like we just got to get out there and just play better. I mean, we talked about putting myself on a beer count. I don't know if that's gonna work. I mean, that would probably improve the playing, but I don't know if that'll
Mm-hmm.
work. I don't know. Uh, we just got to play better. Like Sam. Like we won a championship with Brett. I feel like Sam's that type of caliber player. He's coming in his second season. He's gonna hit more. I don't think Sam. I don't know how many at bats you got, but you stormed ahead like in the beginning of the season, but you came on and got rookie of the year. But you're definitely gonna be like our leadoff player. You're gonna get more at bats. You're more seasoned in. That'll hopefully get me more locked in at the plate. And I don't know. Like I felt like I pitched all right. I just need to I don't know. We just got to get luckier or something. I bet our defense wasn't that great. I mean, you're going to be over there in left field. We just got to field better, maybe make some changes there. I don't know what we're going to. I mean, I feel like some people on their contracts had like at bat like minimums and stuff like that. But I think probably we'll just like go four people and hit whoever's hot. And I don't know. We just gotta rechannel that like 2000 that season 18 energy where we just caught fire and nobody could stop us.
Yeah.
And Sam's got to be that Brett for us, which he can be for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like just settling into a lineup, that was going to be another question is like, are you going to settle into maybe a starting four, maybe five, however you want to do it? Like, do you feel like maybe you need to go that way? It makes it tough for Kevin. I've had, I've done contracts where there are certain minimum at bats or certain minimum games played. And you're trying to juggle, especially with that many guys, you're trying to get everybody a little bit of playing time. But at some point, you kind of have to also set your team down and say, hey, if we're serious about wanting to win, we need to try to play the best four, or the hot five, whatever, however that works out. Has there been talk about trying to settle into, a starting lineup and then making small adjustments rather than big sweeping changes?
I don't know. There's been talks, but I mean, I know that like so I don't think anybody has like a set like minimum on their contract, so he can do whatever he wants. But I
Okay.
don't know. The Expos don't really get down like that on management style. We just kind of go with the flow, which maybe is
Right.
deleterious to our performance, but whatever.
Right. And I was, going in, my rookie season last season, I don't think I had an at bat till maybe the fourth game. I'm not
Yeah. See,
100%
that's gonna
sure,
change, and we're gonna win.
but I wasn't sure kind of how like the thing I would, I knew I had to, I'm a rookie. I'm just coming in there. I know that I need to, kind of, earn my keep, so to speak, and kind of, earn my stripes. But I feel like towards the last probably, I don't know, 3-4 games that we played, I feel like we were like, Jimmy aforementioned, we were in them. We were in those games. It wasn't necessarily, just like a steamroll. But we were at least competitive, and we maybe had one bad inning, either in the field or weren't able to match, with the hitting whenever it was our turn to come and hit. But so I wasn't necessarily sure how that happened, and how it actually went, coming in as a rookie. But it was more of like, okay, now I kind of understand this. I feel like I've earned at least a little bit of a voice, with the team and whatnot, as from what Matt and uh, Jimmy have kind of explained to me, and Kevin, the talks and stuff that we've had. They're asking my opinion on A, B, and C things, and I don't know if we ever do go to a ride the hot four or hot five or whatnot. But if there's 4 or 5 guys that are playing well, and they're winning, and I'm not one of them, I would gladly sit out. All I want to do is win, and the reward for doing is the opportunity to do more. So if someone else is doing more, or more efficiently than I am, or someone else on the team, like, I am all for that. But it ultimately comes up to it's up to Kevin. But we I think it's kind of more of a team decision. You kind of maybe ask the opinion of Jimmy and Germ, and hopefully I can be someone that he can kind of bounce some ideas off of as well in the future.
Yeah, I like that style from Kevin. I mean, he's won manager of the year and he's a great captain. He juggles a lot. And having that, I want to get opinions and I want, it helps with buy-in, right? It's going to help your team buy into whatever you're doing. But at the same time, like, just it being more of a close-knit family type, hey, we're going to, this is, what do you guys think? And then in the end, it's still his decision, right? Like the team still
Right.
ends up deferring and saying, you know what, like, we're going to maybe voice our opinion, but he might have other thoughts or things he's thinking about down the line too that he's trying to keep in play. And so that's great. I love to hear that.
But
So
at the same time, it's still like a 10 game season. Like, the guys
yeah,
like they can, like Sam can hit. Like, you got to get him, you got to get them at bats to get out of that stuff. So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the short
It's the
season.
same.
You kind of want to bat your best players.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same reason you've been maxing out your innings pitched for the
Yeah,
past however many years, right? You've been a top pitcher in the league. You led the league in strikeouts, I think 3 years in a row or something like
I
that
think
now at
like
this
6
point.
years. It's got to be like like
It's a lie. It's I can't
6 years
remember.
or
Yeah,
something.
I can't remember who did it before you at this point. So, you kind of want to maximize those talents, right? And like you said, kind of going back to that is like Jimmy, when you're on and your knuckleball's there, man, you guys might not win by like a barn burner, but you might win 6-2,
Yeah,
right? Or whatever, and that's a win. And who cares? Like you guys, you kind of break the mold of wiffle ball in a sense. Like it's almost more like a fast pitch game, even though we're
yeah.
playing medium pitch, but it's tough. So sometimes all you need is, a couple runs. And if you got Jimmy on the mound, you know, you can hold him. And then Jeremy has, been developing as a pitcher, and I'm assuming he's going to be your number two. Is that kind of the plan again? Is him to be the number two arm? Are you going to kind of
I
maybe
think
mix it up
Sam's
and
gonna be
have a
number
couple
two.
people? Okay.
I think Sam's gonna be number two, but I'm not really. That's the plan. But I mean,
You can
obviously
never have
Jeremy's
too
there.
many pitchers.
Yeah,
It's always nice having the other ones, but if they, whatever Kev and whatever the Spos ask me to do, like that's what I'll do. If it's sit, if it's pitch, 5-6 games, I will absolutely do that. It doesn't matter. I just want to get it there. Yeah, I want to put some tallies in the win column.
let's do it.
Sweet.
Same.
Well,
It's been
let's.
we haven't won a game on the weekend for like 3 years because we
Yeah.
beat you guys at game one like
Mhm.
on a game one thing like preseason. We haven't won one on the game on the weekend for a while.
Yeah.
since
Yeah, I
Brett was
carried
on the team.
I carried the bruise from that loss for like a good
Yeah,
three
that
months
was a
on my
90
leg.
miles per hour thing
Dude, it
right in
was
your
wild.
leg.
It was so I love watching that game. It was so much fun to watch. I hated
I mean,
playing
that's
in
probably
it
like
at
the
the
best
end.
defensive play I've ever seen in the league.
It's
Coming
pretty
from us,
good.
the worst team of all time at defense
Yeah, it's pretty good. There are
and
a couple,
offense.
yeah, there are a couple diving over the, over the fence to rob a home runs. I think one to maybe end a game that can maybe counter that, but I mean that took all three of you and
Yeah.
it was wild. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's look at season 22 since we're kind of there. You guys are in the Ketting Ice Center division. With the Yankees and the Marlins, which is the same division as last year. So, we were in that position last year. What are your guys' thoughts coming back, playing the same two teams twice this year? Sam, I know you've got a little bit of history with some of those guys playing in MoWIF too. And just yeah, thoughts on the same division. How did you like the draw? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What do you think?
Sam, you go first.
Yeah. I mean, it's only my second season, so I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter who we play. You just try to get out there and you just try to be better than them at during that game. But it'd be nice to kind of see a few different teams, maybe a little more. I guess if I had to nitpick something, it'd be nice to not be in the same division as those two teams. They're definitely contenders.
Mm-hmm.
So having to play them twice is fine. Yeah, nothing we can do about it. But I think it'll be a good test. We we got to dig ourselves out of it. Expectations are earned; they're not given. And I think over the last two seasons, and especially last season, I'm sure we'll be probably pretty close to the bottom of the power rankings, and that's earned. And
Don't
the
jump
uh, the
ahead
the
too. Don't jump ahead too fast, too much.
the ultimate
Hey, we
goal
went
is
0 and
to
10. Well earned.
the ultimate goal is to to flip that around and flip the script and kind of turn over a new leaf for the Spos, and maybe put out a new hit single other than the 2020 championship.
Mm-hmm.
um, I've heard a lot about it. Would love to be a part of one, so I can tell the rookies that are coming in, hey, this is what we did, this is how it happened, things like that. So, but yeah, that's the goal this year, is kind of turn over a new leaf and keep the same culture, but also kind of be a little more competitive.
Wait, Jimmy, any other thoughts to
Yeah,
add?
like I'm fine playing the Marlins again. Like we gotta like play a team that we can beat a couple times. That'd be nice. Which I think, I mean, all the teams are it's competitive. Each game like is competitive now. When we got into the league, like it wasn't like that. Like when that like us, the Astros, the Diamondbacks, like we weren't very good. So you knew there was like some games like you could squeak by and all the other teams knew that they could probably beat those dudes. But now it's like all the teams are competitive. You got to go out there and play. I'm fine with playing the Marlins a couple times. I like playing them. I want to beat Eli. That'd be great. The Yankees, it's like they're a great team. Kevin's always hit me pretty good, but we can beat them. Uh, Gus is a tough pitcher. We beat him before, but I don't know. Like the Yankees are good, but we can beat
Mm-hmm.
them. We beat them in games with Jackson out there instead of Gus, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I mean, we'd love to just take one game from the Yankees and try to beat the Marlins twice. That'd be great. That'd be a great split right there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
loved it. I didn't look at the rock. I didn't look at the. Well, I know like sort of like our schedule, but I don't
Yeah.
know what time of the day we're playing those dudes. But
Yeah. Well, I can actually, we're going to get into that anyway. So, I can break down your roster or your schedule real quick. So obviously you're in game one, which has become a tradition. And you're facing off on against the Rockies, who you guys actually called out for game one. And I'm curious why you called the Rockies out. Is it just because of the bond that you guys have formed over the years with Shantytown and those guys sitting next to you now?
yeah, and like the Rockies are going Hollywood and trying to sign all these like MoWIF dudes, and we just like love to beat them. Um, yeah, there's like a rivalry there that's been going back for a while with like against the Spencers, but I'd
Yeah.
like to beat Blake after him signing all these like new dudes. That'd be
Hmm.
great. And like I like playing against him, like against Jason. He talks a lot of smack. I like to talk some smack back.
Hmm.
I guess Chad's not going to make that game, so it should be easier.
Oh, it's good.
If,
Good to know.
if
Nice. Thanks for the
or at least that's
tidbit
what I
there.
heard. So I'd like to hit a
Okay.
couple dongs off Blake, get him rattled, strike him out a bunch of times,
Yeah.
strike out the rest of the team, maybe strike out Jason Worst League a bunch of times.
We're
You
worse
know,
than
pitch a perfect game, something like that. Take a win. Maybe hit 3 home runs again, like I did off Cam, your boy, and take it easy, win right into the weekend.
Yeah. Well,
Sounds good to
then
me. Yeah.
on opening day, you guys are the first game again on opening day against the Marlins. So you start into that division then. That's at 4:30. Um, and then Saturday is like I guess kind of your long day. You have a game at 8 a.m. against the White Sox, and then you have a big break until
Yeah,
2
this is
p.m.
freaking stupid.
Yeah, you've got a big break until 2 p.m. where you play the Yankees, and then at 5 the Orioles, and at 6:30 the Marlins again. So you'll have had um 3 of your 4 division games by the time Sunday rolls around. Um, then Sunday, you've got a nice early, you don't have anything in the morning, which is nice. You actually your first game's at 1 p.m. So you don't even have to be there, but if you want to be there, it's just gonna be, a lot of sitting in the morning. So you got the Yankees again, so your division's done at that point. Then you've got um the Astros at 2:30, the Twins at 6:15, and then the Monday, Sam calls it the toilet bowl game for the 2 teams who finished in 8 and 9 last year, the A's versus the Expos. So that's your
I like
schedule.
that
So
game.
yeah. So um I mean when you hear that, is there a game that you have circled? Is it the first
Well,
one? Is
what'd
it
you say? Like the late games were on. When did we play the? So we play the Yankees. Okay, Marlins. That's fine. Early. That's a good time to get that game out of the way. Then you said like we play. When do we play the Yankees first?
So you play the Yankees the first time
One,
is at 2 p.m. on
two.
Saturday. Yeah. So most of your games are actually, if you look at the schedule and then you include technically, opening day is an afternoon, evening time, most of your games are in the afternoon. You have one 8 a.m. game and then a 10:30 game on Monday. And that's it. Everything else is afternoon. So that kind of stuck out to me
Yeah,
when
Yeah.
I
this is
was kind of
stupid.
looking
Like,
at
why
it.
does the league like, oh, you give us like 2 games on Saturday past 5 p.m.? You know what the Expos do? Like, if they want to have like a competitive league, like maybe give us one. But
Hmm.
like, what do
I
they
think,
expect us not to drink from 8:30 to 2? Like that big
yeah.
gap. I'm
No,
gonna
I
be
think,
definitely in the pool.
yeah, I think part of it is
It's
Sam
like
trying to
all these other
juggle,
teams.
trying to juggle conflicts, and then another thing, and maybe it's just the way it worked out this year, and maybe that's something Sam can keep in mind for next year. But last year we started implementing big gaps for every team, at least one during the weekend, right? With everybody getting married, having kids, family, certain obligations, we try to build in a couple hour break where a player can go home and maybe relieve his wife for a little bit or just spend some time where the family comes to the field but they're not having to kind of be distracted with the game playing games and stuff. So I think that's
Yeah, I'm
part of
still
it.
like a little bitter about the night that in the dark game
Who was that against? I don't remember that.
against the
That was the
A's.
A's
It
last
was a
year.
That was the
joke.
A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
doing, we're playing like we played like games before the season started, like for the last 4 years. Like, come on, don't
Yeah.
play us like a late game, the latest game.
Yeah, we've been in that position before, and we've just elected to push the game to the morning and start at like 6:15 in the morning,
Yeah, we
and
would have
just
gladly done that.
yeah. So if I mean, you don't have a single game that's the last game of the day though. Luckily this year, so maybe Sam remembered that and didn't want to put you in that spot again, unless we get really behind because you've got two
That's what
Saturday
I'm
and
always like
Sunday. You're
worried
the
about.
Yeah.
second to last game on Saturday and Sunday. So if we get really far behind, but hopefully, again, I mean, the hopefully we're going to adjust a little bit. This last year was the whole, the rule change to where if it was too fast and you got to do the redo, I think that added some time, but now we're kind of used to it. So hopefully that helps. Then having, 3 games before the weekend, we started with one, which you're familiar with. Then we went to 2 last year. Now we're going to 3. So hopefully that's building in more, I don't know, flexibility. And then the other big thing is we just gotta, in my opinion, we've got to get the games going faster. Like when the game before you ends, we just got to get going quicker versus taking time, letting the pitchers warm up for 1,000 minutes, and
Right.
waiting for lineup cards to get into the scorekeeper. We just got to, if we can speed up that time, I think in the end we'll actually kind of start to get to where we either stay on time or we actually get ahead of time, because that I think is the biggest thing. So
And
No.
I mean,
that's there's my
in the
there's my
grand,
PSA, I guess, for the for those of
yeah,
you listening.
and in the grand scheme of things, there's 9 teams, there's 10 games each. I mean, you're going to have two or three games that are going to be pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And all things considered, like when I saw the schedule come out, like after hearing, I mean, it's honestly it's not bad. Like I'd rather have the later games than the early games, essentially.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't.
everyone's every team's going to have to make sacrifices as far as like game time. So there's never going to be a perfect schedule.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't like personally. I don't like the big gaps, but I guess that's how it works for. I mean, it works for other teams.
Yeah, I know we have one. I haven't looked at everybody's schedule yet, but I know we have one big gap. Like we play like a couple
Like we just
games
have like
and
blocks.
then yeah.
Like like you just
What
play. You either
yeah,
play in the morning, you play in the afternoon. Show up then.
yeah, we kind of did that, remember, for COVID, the COVID year. We
Yeah,
kind of had chunks of time and blocks, and I think that has informed some of the way we do the scheduling now. But I think everybody also, just likes to be there and hang out. So half the time
but
it's like, well, how much does it really matter? Because people are going to be hanging out whether they're playing or not. So,
well, that's just
I
deleterious to my performance, though.
yeah, maybe they're going to have to go to
For
that
the
that
Expos,
beer
at least.
count. Maybe they're going to have to go. Maybe
Yeah,
they
they'll
should
have to
just
definitely get a
institute a
hot,
rule.
tight beer count. One beer
Yeah,
per hour.
one beer per strikeout, and then
Okay,
motivate your
okay,
performance too.
okay.
Yeah.
How about
I'm
that?
gonna have to have Warren Light. Oh yeah. By the way, Warren Light is signing on a Bat Boy contract. Maybe
Thank
he can
you.
keep me on the beer count.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, we can get him like a blackboard or whiteboard, and he can just tally them as you get
One,
strikeouts. Yeah.
Jimmy, you can drink a beer
Perfect.
again.
Perfect.
Thank you, Warren.
If you go through a dry spell, you're gonna just be dying like of thirst in the
I
afternoon.
know.
You're like, I refuse water. I just want beer. I need a
Yeah.
strikeout. All right. So let's get into the power rankings. You guys kind of mentioned it before. So I want to ask sort of a two-parter. Where will you get ranked in the preseason rankings, and where do you feel you should be ranked?
9-9. Let's go.
9-9. Okay. Bottom.
Yeah,
Sander.
I feel like our power ranker will also be the bottom. Yeah, like we're just kind of the punching bag for the league. And where I feel that we should be, I feel like we have potential to
Yeah.
be, around 5 to 6. But I feel like the 9 is that's merited.
Yeah. We like a chip on on our
Yeah.
shoulder, some salsa on the other one. And yeah, 9-9's good.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
the idea is to increase that for this time next year.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I'd love
what were we ranked when what was our power ranking when we won it all? Probably 9 again.
No, I think you were ranked 7 or 8
Oh,
that
maybe we
year
were. Maybe probably beat the
because
D-backs and you guys.
yeah, or the A's. It would have been, one or two of those teams, I think, ranked below you. And the Diamondbacks being, I think, bottom. So, but yeah, so we'll see. I think, and I could be wrong about that too, because you guys did sign Brett that year, so you might have got a big boost from that too. So I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
let's do some predictions. So I want you to pick a winner from the other two divisions first. So let me read those off to you. So in the Cardinal Blinds and Shutters division, you've got the Orioles, the Rockies, and the A's. Who you got winning that one?
O's.
Yeah, Orioles,
Okay. And then the
especially with
corner.
Jackson,
Yeah, they
the addition
signed
of
Yeah.
him.
Jackson. The rich get
Yeah.
richer. Cool
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. 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 It seems like we'll skip that.
It's
Yeah.
corruption.
Corner yeah. Corner Pub and Grill division is the Twins, the Astros, and the White Sox.
Twins, baby.
Yeah, I would say the Twins as well. Yeah, I feel like that will be a really close division though.
Yeah.
The Sox getting O'Rear is going to be big for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting
Yeah,
to
he
I
see
mean,
better
what
not
he
he
they
do
better
lose
on
not
they
the.
crap
lose
the
I
bed.
know he
Jackson.
can hit. I'm gonna see.
They
It's
lose
gonna be
they
interesting what
lose
he can do
Jackson,
pitching.
but he's a good player.
Who's their
Yeah.
other pitcher? Because yeah,
They
it's gonna be
signed
because they're losing like their ace, who's like a proven player, a pitcher. Ryan has to come in and prove himself. I don't know how. I mean, I can't remember during the summer league how good of a pitcher he was, but
yeah, they signed
and who else do they have?
they signed David Olderman in the
Oh
Older.
yeah,
offseason.
Dave. Yeah, he's good.
So that he's now on paper the de facto ace.
Yeah, ace. Yeah.
So yeah. So we'll see.
Twins.
Yeah, they're kind of
Twins are proven.
yep. All right. Now pick your two wild card teams.
Suppose.
Okay.
Actually, no, we're winning. We're winning it. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, we
We're
never
winning
picked
our division.
ours.
We've
Yeah,
never
we
won
never
a
picked our
division before.
division.
We've never won a division before. We're winning our division. So who else do we got?
So then you've got to to choose from for the two wild cards. You've got the Yankees, the Marlins, the Astros, the White Sox, the Rockies, the A's.
I'm keeping you out of the playoffs. So sorry, Brian, out of there.
Good.
I guess the Yanks and wait, are you in the Orioles division?
No,
No, he's with the Twins and the White Sox.
Who was the other? And the Rockies.
Rockies. So you're keeping so it'd be everybody except for the Astros would make it from last year, and you would take the Astros place, except for you'd win the division.
Yeah.
The Yankees would be a wild card now. Okay, Sam.
I'll take the Yankees winning our division, and then I'll take Rockies as a wild card team, and I'll take the Spurs as a wild card team.
Okay, so you guys got the same teams in it, just slightly different,
Yeah.
positioning.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
win. Okay, in Sam's ideal world, we'll win 3 playoff games this year. Then in my world, we'll win 2. That's fine.
Yeah, take
Whichever
that
way to
break.
look at it.
All right, cool. All right, that takes us to hard hitters.
Done
So
it before.
let's figure out how we want to do this. Let's go every like kind of alternating who goes first, right? So we'll start with Jimmy on the first question, and then on the second question, Sam, you'll go first. But I want you to both answer for each one, okay?
Okay.
All right. This is rapid fire, so just as fast as you can. You can give a little explanation if you want, but we're just going to pop through them. So, what is the final record for the Expos?
7-3.
6-4.
Okay.
Done it before.
Who is the team MVP for season 22?
Jimmy.
Sam.
You guys are so kind.
What a nice guy.
No, that's what I want him to be. He better be.
What is your favorite show, or what are you watching right now?
I think you should leave on Netflix.
I think you should leave.
Leave?
I
Yeah.
think you should leave on Netflix. If you haven't watched it,
very,
you
very
should
good.
watch it. That's the best
Okay.
show.
Tables.
The table.
I think you should leave. It's fantastic. My favorite show is South Park.
Okay.
That's also good.
Never heard of it. Who will lead the league in home runs in season 22?
Spencer Bogad.
Hate that pick.
Sam Eichenlaub.
Sam Eichenlaub.
No.
If you're winning MVP, you have to hit the most home runs too.
Let's do it.
Which is your least favorite team to play against during the weekend?
I would say that the A's, just because we've never beat them, but I'm just going to go with the White Sox because I feel like they're just boring.
Sam, you don't have a lot of history here, so
No, I don't. I'll go with the Yankees because they're really good.
okay. You got to just leave out the general shanty town for the answer for this. But what is your favorite tradition of your team? So leave out. You can't just say shanty town. Like that kind of encompasses everything Expos. So maybe dive deeper. Favorite tradition?
I'm first. I would say wondering if Evan's showing up to the game or not.
That's true. You never know. It's like, is Evan going to be here? Who knows? Let's make a roster just in case he isn't, or is. My favorite tradition is our Saturday morning shack visit. We always get breakfast there, and we're always feeling
Sweet.
like crap, and we have like so much like anticipation, like, oh, it's gonna be our year. And some years it goes real bad. Then like one year it went real good. So and then
Yeah.
like pregame shotguns. But I think like the shack Saturday morning, we've had so much like fun there because it's more like anticipation. It's like, oh, the season's very young. We could do good things. But that's my favorite tradition. We've been doing
That's
it
sweet.
every year.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. And it'll work out kind of nice. You guys got that 8 a.m. game and
Eight
you
Yeah,
can just
thirty,
head
8:30.
straight
Then we'll
there.
hit
very
that. We'll hit
true.
the shack.
Yeah,
Very true.
perfect.
Hit some Bloody Marys. Hit some omelets and whatnot. It's gonna be great.
Heck yeah. All right. Who will lead the league in strikeouts as a hitter in season 22?
Who's up? Me or Sam? I'm up, right?
I'm thinking.
Is Ty Butler
Yeah,
still in the league?
It's Jimmy. It's Jimmy.
Is Ty Butler in the league?
Yes, Ty Butler is still
Like
in
he
the league.
usually leads the league if I don't. I feel like I'm not going to do it this year. I'm going to hit real well. Um, but I'm going to pick somebody in our division so it'll help us. So I'm going to go with Luke Bacula. So I'm going to strike him out three times per game.
Yeah. I'll go Josh Rogers.
He's not
Is
in the
Josh
league.
is Josh in the
Oh, he's
league?
not in the league?
Dude,
He's
Jordan
not on.
Smith.
He's not
Jordan
on an
Smith would be
active
a good one. Let's
roster right
strike him
now.
out a bunch.
As of today,
I
he's
like
not on an active roster.
I like Jordan, so I'm not. I don't want to say
Yeah,
him.
but we
I'll
want
say
to we want to strike him out a lot.
Jason. Jason
Yeah,
Worst in league.
yeah, worse than league. Let's
Nice,
go.
nice.
Strike him out.
All right, who's going to lead the league in strikeouts as a pitcher in season 22?
Jimmy.
It's going to be me.
It's the betting favorite. If there were odds, it would be really low.
I've done it for like the last 6 or 7 years or something. I'll do it again.
It's a long time. Yep. All right, who wins the championship?
Spose, baby. Spose before Stros. We're taking it. We're taking it 2 games or 3 games. But yeah, we're winning it. Just like season
I'm
18, baby.
beautiful. I'm not as optimistic. I do hope it happens. I will say the Yankees.
Okay.
Division.
All right. Sam, you get to go first on this, and I'm sorry. But all right, you got to look at your roster, and you're the captain.
Yeah.
You have to start one player. There's a camera. Start one player, bench one player, and trade one player.
Are you going to give me 3 players, or do I have to choose my own?
No, you have to choose from the Expos roster.
Okay. I'll start Jimmy. I will bench Evan, and I will trade away Jeremy. That's such a tough question. I love all these guys.
I know that's why it sucks.
It's a hard question.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
You
Jimmy's got
didn't
experience.
take the cop out, and you didn't take the cop out route either. So
Who's
I
the
like it.
cop out? What's the
I'll
what
tell
would be
you.
the cop
Let's
out
let
route?
Jimmy. Let's let Jimmy do
Okay.
it and see if he cops out.
Um, let's see. I'll start. I mean, like me and Sam are starting, so it doesn't matter. So, like, I'll start Sam in left, and then I'll start pitching. There we go. And then I'm benching. Like, Eggs is gonna be like we can just bench Eggs, and you won't even give a shit. So Eggs can be benched. Then we can just like let's see who's on our roster. We can so you got to be able to get something for somebody. So or for something. So can we pretend that Jack's on the team?
Sure. He's
All right.
on he's
Well,
on the website on your team right now.
cool. We'll trade Jack to the Orioles for the other Jack.
Nice. That'd be a
Does that work?
win. That would be a huge win. Yeah, that
I don't think
works.
it would actually happen, but we'll at least get maybe a 30 pack or something.
Something.
What a
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not even that. Yeah, that's not even like we have such a big roster. It's like, all right, you can do a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, so usually the cop out is the person answering. It says they either bench themselves or they trade themselves, and that way they don't have to
Yeah.
piss anybody off. But
Yeah,
Right.
but like I'm not fucking going to any other team. I mean, farting going to any other team.
yeah, though you could make a case that like if you're looking at the trade thing, you both probably bring the most value
Yeah, we could
for a
get a
return.
lot of
So
a
you
lot
could
in
trade
return, but
yourself and get Kev a lot of possibly a lot of stuff.
I
So
wouldn't have fun on any other team. I don't
yeah,
think I could perform. I'd be like, well, I just kind of want to go back to the Expos though. I could
he's just
sabotage the other team.
yeah he's
There we
just
go.
tossed. He's
Actually,
just
yeah, I trade
losing
myself.
games.
I trade if we're in the playoffs. I trade myself. Just sabotage whoever else is in the league. No, I'm still starting.
Go
Trading
Spurs.
Jack.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Expos team interview. Real quick, want to thank our sponsors 1356 Public House, Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, Cutting Eye Center, Corner Pub and Grill, Spencer Gear, Chill Designs, Breck Ever Dolce Vita, Four Hands Brewery, Logex, and Johnny Pops. We've got more team captain interviews coming up. We're going to get into the power rankings. We're going to get into, you know, the season preview right before the league time frame comes in May. So just stay tuned. We're going to have some more content coming as we build up to Memorial Day weekend. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Forum's yours. You can say
I think
whatever you want.
we should thank our sponsor, Sam, or maybe you should.
Yeah, we did we brought a sponsor on this year.
Really?
Yeah. I got in contact with our great local St. Louis friends, First Form, and we have a sponsorship with First Form. So they sent us a nice little goodie bag, and hopefully that'll help us get some tallies in the win column.
Yeah, baby.
Breaking
Yeah,
news. Nice.
breaking news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, like
so
the
we
Expos are the only team that's ever gotten like individual sponsorship. We got like Anheuser-Busch before. Now we got First Form. We're trying to get some more. You know, it's season 10. We're going big. We're going to win it all. Season 10, get some new jerseys probably.
Yeah. Going with that
Looking,
image and likeness,
oh, yeah.
you know, stuff
yeah
too.
the old
Especially.
X,
NIL. That's
season
Yeah.
X. Let's go. Expos. Um, I don't really have anything else. I mean, we're going to do better this year. Um, I'm coming in top physical fitness. I think we're going to have to get out to the Expos training facility for some preseason stuff.
we will be out of the Expos training facility. Yes.
Yeah. Taking some BP. Yeah. Looking forward to the season.
We're excited. Real quick, Benware, were you a little maybe surprised that we didn't take a rookie, or what were your thoughts on that?
Um, in one sense, yeah, you could say, hey, maybe just adding to the depth. Kev's drafted a rookie a lot over the years. So, you know, trying to go out, there were a lot of pretty, from what I've heard, I don't know a lot of these guys, but there are some talented rookies that went undrafted as well. So, you know, I was kind of surprised in that sense, but at the same time, you look at a big roster, you kind of know like, hey, there's only I think most people get along with all of you, but there's a certain mold of a player and a personality that really fits in really well with the Expos. And I don't, you know, again, I don't know these guys, so I can't say, but you know, not knowing them, maybe that makes hesitation. So in one sense, like it makes sense. In one sense, like, hey, you know, maybe couldn't hurt, you know, kind of an approach like they did with you last year, Sam, right? Hey, let's take a guy who has some talent probably, and you know, we've got our guys, but we'll kind of feed him in there. And if he, you know, produces, we'll just keep him in and
Mm-hmm.
go that way. So you could have done that, but at the same time, like I said, I mean, you've got the pieces that if everybody performs, you know,
Yeah.
you can
See,
definitely push for the playoffs too.
I agree. I think our roster actually is like pretty like I know you kind of mentioned a little earlier in the pod that like maybe we get our wins or maybe 6-2 wins or something like that where like Jimmy shuts it down, which obviously we know Jimmy can do that, we've seen Jimmy do that, but I think like top to bottom, like if we have our five guys batting, and I I think we can put up some good offensive numbers as well. I just think last year it would happen to where there'd be one guy that was hot for a game or two, and then there'd be two guys that weren't, and then it would flip flop, and we weren't all kind of singing in the same key. And maybe that is from bringing in a rookie and not really knowing where and when to play him, and different things like that. So, um, kind of keeping the same core that we had last year and kind of going into it and trying to build momentum off of the last few games that we had played. I think I think that's going to help us, and
Oh
hopefully
yeah.
we can all kind of kind of pull the rope at the same time,
Yeah. That's
and
always the challenge. I
go
think
from
with
there.
any team, it's rare that, you get teams that are all four guys are just clicking constantly. Usually like the good teams have three guys clicking and one guy
Hmm.
who's maybe, I wouldn't say a detriment, but maybe struggling a little bit as compared to what he
Right,
could do.
right,
But it's when you got the 2-2 thing, it just it makes the game short because your first two guys could come up and hit solo home runs, and then your next two guys are out, and the inning's over, you know, and you're
correct,
only walking
right,
away with 2 runs in that inning. It just shortens the game. It makes it harder.
right.
Um, you kind of have to get where it's kind of clicking, and the difficult thing is it's not like a different like a MOWIF season where you have, different games throughout, weeks. It's like,
Hmm.
if you're hot for the weekend, great. But if you're struggling that weekend, if you're not seeing it well that weekend, it can make for a long weekend. So
Yeah,
Been there.
yeah, and from
yeah.
what I've seen, through the one season, like it starts kind of it starts compounding, and like I've almost seen like guys, I'm like that guy's pressing way too hard to try to do something, whereas like there's different ways to go about it, but yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, like kind of bringing in another rookie would almost, I don't know, guess kind of muddy the waters and kind of
Yeah,
figure out, okay,
literally
who
what
are
I
we
was just
sitting this
thinking,
game?
muddy
Who
the
are we
waters.
not
Yeah.
playing? And kind of the same concept that that I went through last year. And I understand. I kind of knew what I was getting into, but kind of keeping the same guys and saying, hey, these are our horses. Let's run. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that's a good mentality for us to have in the season, and not like, hey, is this guy any good? Like, what are we going to do with this guy?
mhm.
What can he pitch? Is he a power hitter? Is he a a singles hitter? Like, where do we bat him and things like that. So now we kind of all have our own. Uh, we have our own little slice of the pie, and we're just going to try to bake it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I would say too, just to put a button on this, you guys were not the most surprising team to not draft somebody, I would say. Yeah, I mean, there were other teams that I was more surprised they didn't draft somebody. So, I think you're right. I think you build on the momentum, even though they didn't turn into wins, you build on some of the stuff you guys found toward the end of last year, let that carry you in and just continue to build some of that chemistry with the team that you got. And you got plenty of depth. It's not like you're relying on, you know, 4 or 5 guys. Let's just call it four, because if you got a roster of four, you better show up. Otherwise, you're kind of out of it. 5, you get a little bit of depth, and then you keep building depth as you get bigger. Then you have
Mm-hmm.
to start balancing that playing time a little bit. But if everybody's in it team first mentality, playing time doesn't become as important and as necessary. Like you
Yeah,
said earlier,
yeah.
hey, if I'm sitting and we're winning games, who cares? Like I'll just keep sitting. I'll hide in the trees if I have to when they go to set the
Mm-hmm.
rosters, set the lineup. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And I actually have a little prediction. I say three players on our team hit 10 or more home runs this upcoming season.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do
Jimmy,
that.
Jimmy's
I'm gonna get back
gonna
in that
knock
column.
10. Yep, Jimmy's gonna hit 10. Evan and Eggs, either of those guys could knock 10. I'll try to tie in a few here and there, and
No, you're
we'll
gonna
see
hit
what
10.
we'll see what happens from it. But yeah, I would not be surprised if three of us
Well,
hit double
that's the
digits at
thing.
home run.
Like we don't need like we have a big roster. We've done it before. All these guys have hit. Ev, Germ, me. Like, but Sam, like last year, he didn't. Yeah, like he didn't get like an at bat for like the first 4 games. But now we're like, oh yeah, he's like rookie of the year. He's gonna be batting number one. He's gonna get a bunch of at bats, and I'm gonna hit behind him, and I'm gonna hit more. And like last year, like coming into the league, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be the best hitter on our team, maybe, which probably shouldn't be the key. Like, I mean, once we brought in Brett, that really like helped me hit, and that's how we're gonna go. So now we have like Sam up top. He's gonna hit whenever, and Evans like proven like he's hit 10. I think he's hit like 10 home runs this season. I have. Sam will do it, and we just need to get more at bats. We need to see the ball more, and yeah. Um, I don't know. Like I always like playing with like a chip on her shoulder like that, and like I mean, obviously the Expos like we're more of like a gentleman's club than like a wiffle ball team. Like we're out here like I mean half the times in Shantytown,
That
baby.
is the best analogy I've
It's
heard.
like oh it's a game within a game. It's like oh we have to go play wiffle ball in between this. All right, sweet. Let's see what we can do. But I mean we're always trying to win, but yeah, with some quality like with Sam getting more bats, it's definitely gonna work. That and it's worked before because last year, yeah, we didn't really have that. I mean, Sam's a great hitter, but he didn't start like that. Like so now we can get going. Now we know what we're doing. If we would have drafted Ryan, like that could have been great. But like we're always just like, do we need it? Let's try to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because like it's always like we have like a big roster. We want to get people at bats. We want to have fun. I mean it's like a kids game, like everybody always say. We want to everybody like we want Eggs getting in there. We want Jeremy getting in there. Jack, if he's on the team, get some at bats. But I mean, yeah, like if we added another player, it'd be very hard.
Yeah.
It always is. But like that's like the Expos mentality. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
we want to. We want to. I mean, we started this franchise. We probably had like the smallest turnover really for like a championship team. I would say besides like the Twins, but like those guys are always good. So
Mm-hmm.
like nobody ever expected anything from us. So like that's kind of like that's how the mentality has been like the entire time. So
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining, guys. Good luck this year, except for when you
oh, we
play
won't need
us.
it. No, we're gonna beat you guys. No
All
problem.
right. All right.
We don't need
Well,
luck.
all right. Well, I appreciate you both jumping on. It's been a lot of fun having fresh faces to talk wiffle ball, and I need to get you guys on more, so I'll reach out on some other stuff too. So,
For
but
sure.
again, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you later.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks, man.
absolutely. And thanks for all you do, Benware. These pods are so much
Legend.
fun to listen to. Whenever they pop up, I'm like, oh
Good.
I haven't been
Thanks.
listening that much this year
Wolf
since we
Ball
were
League
trash
coming up.
last year, but
Yeah.
now
Good.
I'm
I
getting
appreciate
pumped.
that.
Yeah,
Good.
so thanks for all that you do because it's these are fun easy listen.
Good. Good. All right, fellas. See
All
you
right, see you,
later.
Sammy. Let's go. Let's go, Expos.
Let's go, Spurs.
Let's go, baby.